It's a rather chilly day, but we are off to go and look at a 1959 Citroen
Yes.
that I heard about. It's located in a town called George, which is about 70, 80 kilometers away. Don't know what we're going to find, but we'll see. And my co-driver today is my daughter Shana, who's visiting all the way from the Netherlands where she currently lives.
Yes. Here for the ride.
Say hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Right, off we go. We've got some rather bumpy roads, dirt roads to contend with for a while before we get to the tar road. My daughter is the cameraman today.
I'm trying very hard to keep still on the bumpy roads.
And she's very concerned about shaky with all the bumps in the road. But we'll try our best. Right, so let's see what we've got. My world, it's tight in here, eh? Let's have a look in here. So yeah, it's a little rear wheel drive. So there's no engine in the front. But yeah, I mean access is impossible here. You can hardly see what the car looks like. Okay, well there's a lot of stuff inside here. Seats, I can see window rubbers and I don't know, lots of space. Apparently everything is here, including the windscreen. Now let's see, it's got suicide doors, that's quite cool. Can't get them open though. The little windows seem to be in good nick. Look at that, eh? Seems to have very little rust. So yeah, it's a rear engine little car, this. Let's see if we can see what it looks like from the side. Sure. I'm trying to see what it looks like from behind, but it's basically impossible to see what's going on in here. Eh? I can see a very narrow little wheel there with 3 studs, but not much else. Huh. But oh my word, I mean, we can't look at this thing properly. It's really tightly wedged in here next to a lot of junk. So I think what I'm going to do is to ask the owner to get it out of here. I mean, how can you buy a car if you can't look at it properly? I can't open the doors. It's looking in pretty decent condition, but still. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can get the owner to take it out of here so we can have a better look at it. So you can see here, I mean, it's tightly wedged in here. I can't even walk in next to it on this side or on that side. Are you recording?
Maybe.
No man. Switch it off now.
No.
So the owner of that little 1959 Renault 4CV, who did not want to appear on camera, was really keen to get rid of it. And there was pressure from his missus, who wants to turn that garage into an apartment. So we all know what that means. He called a really good price, and transport was arranged as well. So I decided to buy it based on what we saw. So now I'm waiting its arrival. And I tell you, I can't wait to see what I actually bought. Yes, you're well done, brother. Now we can finally take a proper look at this little car. Exciting stuff, man. A 1959 Renault 4CV. Isn't it just the coolest little thing? I get a smile on my face just looking at it. So the inside is full with lots of parts. It's the late afternoon. Sun is causing a lot of shadow, but hopefully you can see. So we can go on a journey of discovery and see what treasures we can find. I can see the front seats. Let's try and have a look in here. There's a back fender. Hey, it looks like there's a steering wheel in that box. That is probably the steering column. I think I better start unpacking. See what is all hidden in here. I've stashed all the last bits and pieces that came with the car here in my other shed. There we have the front seats and the back seats. There I've got the original rear fenders that I'd like to go and fit just now to see what it looks like. And a spare set. Down here we've got some front suspension components, wishbones. And there's a disc brake on there. So I think, the original car didn't have disc brakes. So I think this is from a Renault Gordini. I might be wrong, don't quote me on that. There's a steering column. I think that is trim that fits onto the side of the body. There's the old original little engine. I think something like 600, 700 cc. And a whole pile of really narrow little wheels. 135, 15. Some of them with rims. And then up there is the front suspension cross member. Like I said, I think it's from a Renault Gordini. But yeah, I'm not going to use it, so it doesn't worry me too much. And here's a whole collection of important tiny treasures. Got the original steering wheel. I've got these two old horns. I still have to find out if they work. Very happy to have these. They are the grills for the air intakes by the back fenders. Rear view mirror, side mirror. These are cool. They are combination turn signal and tail light unit that fits on the side of the body. That's cool too. The fuel cap, original fuel cap. I got the ashtray, door striker plates, wiper motor. Yeah, various window winders, door handles, etc. I think this is the original light switch. That's quite interesting. I want to check that out more. A whole selection of hinges for the bonnet and the boot. more than what I need. There's a cool little, I don't know what you would call that, like a little badge or something. And this is great. I'm so happy I've got this. These are the trim for the front grille. Cool, man. I'm happy to have these bits. So these extra front fender sections also came with, but somebody did some fender arches here and a modification here with fiberglass. Oh yeah, I don't like plastic. So these are just going to become yard art. So I got that original back fender loosely fitted, and I've also just loosely attached that little air intake grille here. How cool is that? The Renault 4CB was built from 1947 until 1961, according to Google, and it was the first French car that sold more than 1 million units. In France it was affectionately known as the La Motte de Beurre, which is French for lump of butter. And pardon my French, I can't pronounce it properly or speak it. It was France's version or France's answer to the Beetle, and now indeed there are many similarities. I'm going to show you some of them just now. And apparently Ferdinand Porsche himself, the designer of the Beetle, had some influence on the design. There's quite a bit of interesting history on Wikipedia if you want to go check it out and learn more. 4 doors, suicide doors up front. And it's actually really a tiny little car. I mean, it's not going to take 4 big people. Like a Beetle, up front there's no engine. There's some storage space. Spare wheel goes in there. Look at this, some interesting tags here on the firewall. Built by Car Distributors, East London, South Africa. That's interesting. So this car was actually assembled right here in South Africa. And this one reads, important notice, the guarantee becomes void if the car is not repaired or serviced with genuine Renault parts marked or sealed with a Renault seal. When ordering parts, make mention of the car number shown on the lozenge nameplate. Okay. Recommended oil, Valvoline Renault Frigate or something like that. Stock number, and then Curry Motors 1946 Limited, 245 Elof Street, Johannesburg, with a workshop telephone number and an office telephone number. Very interesting. And then I guess this must be the Renault VIN number. Although here is another set of numbers. Well, a lot of storage space, mind you. The bonnet latch is quite cool, I like that. Or wood latch if you're in America. Although I suppose in this case you would call this the trunk or the boot. Rear engine, rear wheel drive, like a Beetle. How cool are these louvers, eh? Now do we call this what? The hood? The bonnet? Although it's in the back. Let's have a look in here. So transmission or gearbox setup very similar to a Beetle. Also has the swing axles here with axle boots. So the suspension works through a camber change scenario. A difference from the Beetle though was that the engine was water cooled. It's got a little 4-cylinder, I think it's about 750cc engine that you saw earlier. And also then the radiator mounted in there. So if you take a peek in there, you can just see where the air would flow in from those little air grills on the front of the rear fenders. Then it would obviously flow in here and then through the radiator. Here's a view of that air intake on the front of the rear fender again, for the air can go in there. So as far as the rear suspension goes, it's different from the Beetle. It's got coilover shocks here. So those swing axles would work on the spring, on the coil springs. Unlike the Beetle, that the torsion bars with the swing arms. I'm sure you guys will remember that setup. The fuel filler sits here right below the rear window, and I did discover this cap, and it's actually got some French written on it, so it surely must fit on here. Yes, there we go. How cool is that? And then it looks like there's something missing here. Must have been an emblem or something. Unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm not even going to try and read what's written on this fuel cap. Maybe some of you will understand it and know how to say it. But yeah, if you do know what it means, let me know in the comments. In English. Look at this tiny little gear stick. Here's my grubby paw for comparison. It's not connected. I don't feel any gears. So it doesn't have a frame or a chassis, so it's monocoque construction. And there's actually remarkably little rust. That might not look like it, but even here, it's solid. Quite a bit of mouse turds around though. Yeah, I'm actually amazed by how little rust there is. So just have a look at the window winding mechanisms and all that. So this door rubber around here is obviously perished, but these rubbers are actually still in good nick, and this little window works well. Let's try that window. It's working perfectly. How cool is that? I also find these combination hinges very interesting. That's the bottom one. There's the top one. So the doors basically share a single hinge point. Glass here on the rear door is missing. So is the rear window and the windscreen. But no worries, I got all the pieces, man. Front windscreen, rear window, which is actually got a bit of a curvature to it, so I'm glad I've got that. And then those 4 pieces are for the rear doors. These license discs on this front windscreen is from another era. Eh? This one is 1993, 1994. Yeah, so this cool little light fits here. It's got a red lens in the back and an orange lens in the front. Now I don't know, it doesn't have a divider in here, so maybe it was just a single bulb. I'm not sure how it works. I need to research that a little bit more. But still, it's a cool little light, man. Unfortunately, I didn't get the back taillights, which no doubt mounted right here. So I am going to have to research that a little bit. Also didn't get the back bumper. Don't know what happens there either. Hey, and that little hole certainly looks like a hole for a crank handle to me. Also didn't get any headlights. Or I don't know if that had a little turn signal fitting there. Also no front bumper. But you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm obviously not gonna restore this thing. I mean, how do you know me? Alright, let's see how I fit in here. Get the door. It's small, eh? It was definitely built for 4 tiny French people back in the day. But yeah, it can work. This piece coming out here, which is no doubt to provide some space for the wheels when they turn, gets a little bit in the way of your leg. But yeah, you'll have to live with it. So what's the plan, Stan? Well, this is after all, the infamous premises of Rat Rods for Africa. So don't expect a restoration or a shiny resto mod. More like a rusto mod. I've got an idea, but I want to give it a little bit more thought. So you're going to have to hang around for a while to find out what my plans are. But I'll let you know. In the meantime, Thanks for hanging out with me out here in the forest. I enjoyed your company. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a lekker one.